Very good evening to my dear Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I, Ishika Mahajan, your Surjita Camps for today, welcome you all to meeting number 11 of Connected Across Miles Toastmasters Club. In today's era, where we are continuously evolving, transitioning from one thing to the other, here we are today, binded by one constant desire, one constant aspiration to expand ourselves beyond and achieve excellence beyond boundaries. And thus, we bring to you Connected Across Miles Toastmasters Club with a vision to connect with Toastmasters worldwide for global networking and collaboration. We strongly believe in our mission to embrace diversity, learn about various cultures, and foster excellence as global citizens, thereby providing a supportive and learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To ensure that we have a smooth meeting today, let me lay down a few ground rules for the meeting. At the Toastmasters meeting, we are not prohibited, but advised to speak responsibly on topics like sex, politics, and religion. You are requested to please keep your noise-making devices on mute to avoid any disturbances during the meeting. Request you to remain on mute when a speaker is speaking to avoid any disruptions. This meeting will be recorded for training purposes. If you don't wish to be recorded, you may keep your cameras off. And now, let's dive into today's celebration and welcome our presiding officer for the day, Vandita Shukla. Vandita Shukla is a software engineer, a professional content writer, and a public speaker. She joined Toastmasters in March 2018 and has been winning accolades in various domains since then. She has been 3 times Triple Crown, 2 times Division winner, and Smedley Gold awardee. Lately, she has served as Select Distinguished Area D4 Director, District 41, President Distinguished Division D Director, District 124. She has mentored and sponsored 4 clubs and phenomenal mentees across India. National level debate champion come today's Associate Program Quality Director, Vandita Shukla is a happy-go-going person who loves experimenting and revolutionizing the rational. Over to you, Madam Presiding Officer.
It's a delightful evening. Well, every evening is a delightful one, but this is a special one. At Connected Across Miles Toastmasters Club, we feel immensely proud to hold such distinguished sessions. And this is one of those, where we have with us the champion of champions. You'll know about the champion later. This much is enough. She is champion of champions. Now I have described a little more. I welcome you all to our club, which opens both its arms to audiences from across the globe. We are a club who is wavering, breathing to achieve excellence in terms of all the aspects laid out by Toastmasters International. We have people from different geographies, different time zones, yet we sit together to acknowledge and to appreciate and to celebrate our meetings on every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. We have with us the Program Quality Director of District 124, Gaurav Agrawal. We have with us district officers like Tamanna Booth and various others. I humbly acknowledge your presence. When the greetings were going on, I saw there were people from District 125, District 18, District 91, District 92. I may have lost your names, but trust me, me and my members, hold lot of reverence for you all. It is the members and the audiences who come and visit our club and participate in the meetings, which makes our club connect across miles. That being said, this is a small welcome from the presiding officer. We have our keynote speaker. We have an opening address. We have a lot in this meeting, but a lot will be done by a marvelous personality, which I'm going to witness another time. She is none other than Shravanti Valampati, Distinguished Toastmaster. A resident of Ohio, USA, Shravanti joined Toastmasters in 2013 to practice speaking purposefully and successfully, but stayed for the enormous value and incredible friendships it continues to add to her life. An award-winning 3 times DTM and a member of 7 President's Distinguished Clubs, both community and corporate, Shravanti has served all club officer roles and as an area director, division director, program quality director, and district director. She's a club sponsor, mentor, coach, youth leadership program coordinator, a pathways guide, and an active workshop presenter in her home district, District 10, and beyond. She has completed all 11 parts and is excited to embark on the newest editions in exploration. She has found clarity, connection, and confidence with Toastmasters. Wherever she goes as a Toastmaster. With a huge round of applause, I welcome the Master of Ceremony today, Shravanti Valampati, Distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer, dear Bandita, my dear friends, members of the Connected Across Miles Toastmasters, distinguished guest dignitaries, and our special guest for today, Nisha Shivram. From me and from all of us, welcome. We are here for the 11th meeting of Connected Across Miles, and it is my pleasure and distinct honor to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today. Thank you all for choosing to be here. We promise it will be time that you will not regret. Actually, you will enjoy. I would like to welcome the Program Quality Director for District 18, Gaurav Agarwal, to make some opening remarks. Please welcome Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies. It's a pleasure to come to this and attend a meeting at Connected Across Miles Toastmasters Club. I also have the proud privilege to say that this club is in District 124 and the club is doing great. It's also a pleasure to welcome Toastmaster Nisha. I had the honor and the privilege of watching her deliver her speech live at Bahamas, and it was a truly memorable experience. I still remember parts and pieces of those speeches, of that speech, and I'm sure it touched my heart, and I'm sure it touched a lot of people's heart. Thank you so much, Nisha, for coming up and gracing this meeting with your presence and sharing the keynotes or the tips that you will be doing it in your sessions coming up. Now, as Nisha is here and she is about to talk about contests, now the contest seasons are truly up and again, right? In and around Toastmasters and especially in District 124, as we start on our embark on the first set of our contests that are coming up. Now, contests, dear friends, are the heartbeat of our Toastmasters journey. They challenge us, inspired us, and pushes us to unleash our hidden potentials. Now, as we embark on the contest season, let us embrace the spirit of competition, not merely as a quest for victory, but as an opportunity for growth. In this contest, we find the essence of camaraderie, where we celebrate each other's success and learn from our setbacks. Now, every speech delivered, every evaluation given, and every role performed is a stepping stone towards excellence. Let us approach these contests not just as events, but as invaluable learning experiences. Embrace the nerves, release the challenges, and remember that it's not the destination, but the journey that truly matters. As we embark on this contest season, let us encourage one another, support one another, and celebrate the power of eloquence and leadership that resides on each one of us. I'm sure distinguished Toastmasters Nisha Shivram would agree with my points on the contests. And as we say, it is just not the destination, but the journey ahead. And I'm sure distinguished Toastmaster Nisha has a lot of journey ahead in the coming years. And we hope to see her back in South California next year. And I'm sure we hope to see another one of our members from District 124 represent us once again at South California in the 100th Toastmasters International Convention. I had the proud privilege of being able to see our first member from District 124 ever to participate and contest at the semi-finals of International Speech Contest. And as I was telling our district champion, Nidhi Saini, that this is just the beginning. I hope that every year we see one participant from District 124 at the semi-finals. And I'm sure our members will not leave any stone unturned to ensure that we are represented there. And distinguished Toastmaster Nisha, next time we will also be there to give you some competition at the International Speech Contest final sessions. And with this, I would now like to hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Sarvanti. Over to you.
Thank you, dear Gaurav, for those opening remarks and for promising a good competition in the Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention. With that, we move right into our special activity for this evening. As if you are in India and elsewhere, it is 9:13 a.m. for me here in the United States, so it's early morning for me, and most of the world is just either waking up or ending their day. Either way, we have a really fun-filled, jam-packed, inspiring event for you. Before we do that, may I remind you that our timer is Yaska, both for Gayatri as well as Nisha. Toastmaster Yaska, if you could keep your virtual hand raised so we can see your time tile at the very beginning of our panel, that would be helpful. All right, while you do that, I will go ahead with the introductions. We are indeed honored to welcome Nisha Shivram, distinguished Toastmaster Nisha Shivram, to our program today. Nisha is a highly sought after public speaking coach and a keynote speaker in the GCC. She was adjudged as the second best world champion of public speaking in 2023 at the Toastmasters International Convention in the Bahamas. She is also the founder of an AI-assisted mobile app, SpeechZ, and an upcycling startup, Wabi Sabi Qatar, that aims at upcycling waste into creative art forms. She has hosted an online talk show named Talksopedia, where she invited more than 50 eminent guests from different parts of the world. Public speaking is not the only forte that she dominates. Her signature topics in this and beyond are storytelling, impact on nonverbal communication, being your authentic self, emotional intelligence at work, team management and development, vocal variety and voice modulation in speaking, and last but not the very least, leadership at work and business. She's a speaking coach, and as I mentioned, a founder of SpeechZ app, Wabi Sabi Qatar, a keynote speaker, and a public speaking coach. She will be interviewed by distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh. The founder, the person who brought many from around the world, including myself, to CAMTC to become charter members, and continues to evolve the club as well as her own vision for being a Toastmaster. She lives in Nashik, Ohio, has been a Toastmaster for 3 years, and has been associated with Connected Across Miles since its the very beginning as a charter member. She belongs to 3 clubs: Connected Across Miles, Speak Up Toastmasters Pune, and Pune Marathi Toastmasters. Her favorite part about Toastmasters is that she did things that she never thought she would be capable of doing. She rediscovered herself, and Toastmasters prepared her to show her a new career path, which she is currently enjoying. Please help me welcome our special guest, Distinguished Toastmaster Nisha Shivram, and our moderator for the panel, Distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh.
Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Shravanti, and a very warm welcome to our World Champion of Public Speaking, second place winner, somebody of Indian origin to take that stage. Please help me welcome on stage, Distinguished Toastmaster Nisha Shivram. Nisha, I guess you have seen all of the videos and you have seen a lot of questions already asked in the videos.
Yes.
So my first question to you would be, how are you feeling?
First of all, good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you have connected. And thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm so glad to see some of the very familiar faces. Thank you, Pinky ji, for attending the session. And as in my introduction, you had mentioned about Toxopedia, and I'm so glad to inform that Distinguished Toastmaster Pinky was one of the guests on Toxopedia once. And it was my pleasure to interview you. And today I'm sitting right in front of her, being interviewed by another club member. So it's a privilege again. And thank you so much. And as you asked, I'm a bit nervous because I don't know what kind of questions are you guys going to ask me. And should I be, since your PQD just mentioned that there would be competition, should I really be sharing my tricks and tips with all of you? Yeah.
The thing is, Nisha, you have that thing next to your name, that is DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster. Even if you try to conceal your tips, there is something about your personality that you will just give as much as you can.
No worries. I will share. So it is always good to have strong competition, right? Yeah, so don't worry.
Okay, so Nisha, the first question, your overall appearance on the stage was very different. I mean, you're branding yourself as a speaker in dhoti. The first thing that was striking was that everybody saw you on the stage. You were not wearing a sari, you were not wearing trousers, you were not wearing anything conventional. It was something very offbeat. Who helped you with all that styling?
Nobody did. And I was asked this question. So many people asked me this question so many times, that why did you wear that? And then I thought, was it the reason I came second? Because if I had worn some trouser or, the formal suit, I would have probably, but no, nobody. The reason was I'm into upcycling. So I thought, why should I go and buy a branded suit? Let me just try out something. I'm a fan of dhotis. So I have been following, a lot of people on Instagram styling themselves and wearing dhoti. So I said, okay, let me try this. And I converted an old sari into dhoti pants. And the old, one of my old saris into that coat, the red coat that you saw, it was made out of a silk sari, an old red silk sari. Now, why red? People also ask me, why red? Is it something that you wanted to bring luck? One of my friends from China, she said, oh, you were wearing red, it's so lucky. I said, no, it has got nothing to do with that. Red is my favorite color, number one. And last year when I was in Nashville, I was wearing black, and the background, the stage background is I don't know what kind of blue is that, so black and blue, it doesn't look good. So I thought I should wear something contrast. So pink would do, or off-white would do. And I said red would do. Okay, so let me try red. And that is how I came up with that styling. And I just wanted to, bring a unique style so that everybody, at least if they don't remember my speech, they would at least remember my attire. So that's what I thought. And yeah, that's how it happened.
Everybody remembers your speech. Everybody remembers your dress. And I think one name that became globally popular was the name Feli, because Feli was the name which was mentioned in Nisha's speech. And there is one fellow Toastmaster named Feli from one particular part of the geography. And she attended our meetings and everything. Oh, are you that Feli from Nisha's speech? And she's like, no, I'm not that Feli from Nisha's speech. Nisha, what kind of questions are people asking you after you won the second place?
It is more about how you prepared, who helped you in preparing the speech contest. And there were people who asked me, was that a real story? Does Feli really exist? Because they thought that I created or I, made that story up. But then Feli does exist, and she was in the US. She was in Phoenix when I was, I was at the convention, and just 1 month ago, I had received a message from her that her boss, who she was looking after in Phoenix, she passed away, and now she wants to come back to Doha. So she wanted some help in checking the visa requirements and everything, because her visa is now expired. So yeah, she is in touch with me. She's right now here in Doha working with an agency, and she does exist. So that was a real story. In fact, all my speeches, have real stories. I have never made up, but yes, exaggerations would be there. But it's all real stories.
Nisha, one question that any aspiring champion, or forget about even champion, anybody who wants to do a speech, one question which they always face as a challenge is how to select the story. And if we are going with that speech for a contest, what kind of story should we select for the contest? What would you give them as guidance?
See, just like all the world champions, whoever you would call, they would tell you one thing, that always select a universal topic. Now, what does it mean? It means that you can select a topic which everybody could relate to, no matter where you are coming from. Now, if I have to give you an example, my speech was all about helping others. Now, that topic is applicable to everybody, no matter if you are from India or Africa, America, it is applicable to everybody. Now, one thing that we need to remember is that we always tell people to include personal stories, which is good. But let me tell you that you cannot connect with your audience with your story. Why? Because my story is different from your story. The things that have happened with me, there are chances that it has not happened with you. So I met somebody in the airport and she was looking for help and I helped her. There are chances that you have never come across anybody in the airport or you never had that kind of experience. So you can never connect with your audience with the story. Your story would make your speech memorable. People will remember your speech because of that particular story and the character. But when it comes to connection, then how can I connect with my audience? It is the intention behind your story. Why do you want to share that particular story with your audience? So my intention was to tell people that we all are together in this journey and we have to help each other. Simple. Okay. So intention is very, very important, and that intention becomes your message. Now, what kind of story should we include? You have to include stories, your personal stories, and just look around. When people are looking for topics, they are thinking of big things, making some difference in the world or, something very huge. No, you don't have to do that. Just look around. Simple things in your life, like how in the last year in the semi-final, I gave a speech on washing machine. My washing machine broke down. It was making a lot of noises. And one day I called this repairman and he said, ma'am, your washing machine is gone. Now you have to buy a new one. And that is when it hit me that, it's a machine. If it gets damaged or if it breaks down, I can get it replaced. But what about human beings? We cannot replace them. So when a human being, be it your husband or kids, when they make noises because of the emotional overload, you must listen to it. Right? So it was listen to the noises around you. And it came just out of that washing machine. So why do you have to, look for big topics? Just look around and see. Now you are a Toastmaster. Now you have to have this habit of looking at everything as, can I find a speech in this? Is there a story there? And I'll tell you, while coming back from Bahamas, I missed my flight in Miami. There was a connecting flight. I missed the flight in Miami, and I was staying at the hotel airport. So I had a lot of time. And I thought, what should I be doing with this time? So my friend, on my WhatsApp, she sent a message that Miami, go ahead and just go and see what is there. So, but I was scared because I don't know anybody there. So I said, okay, let me just go at least out of the airport and see. So I was waiting for the metro bus, and there was a lady sitting next to me, and she was also going somewhere. So I had a chat with her, and she said that she was going to South Beach, and she had a trolley bag. And I said, I'm also going to Miami Beach, and then I have to head to, go to Qatar, go back to Qatar. And I said, okay, so what are you going to do in South Beach? She said, I don't know, because I'm going there to look for a job. She had left everything back home without informing her husband. She had changed her phone number, no social contacts, nothing. And she was taking a leap of faith to start a new life in Miami. And on the other hand, I had everything. I had money, my contacts, my phone, everything. And I was so scared to take even one step outside the airport. So now there is a story. I can convert this into a speech and give out the message, right? So now as a Toastmaster, since we all are Toastmaster and we have been in this organization for such a long time, we now need to start looking at things as, oh, is there a story there? Is there a message that I can convey to my audience? And then, yes, it will be easy.
And that prompts the next question for you. How long have you been in Toastmasters? Tell us something about your journey in Toastmasters.
Right. I joined Toastmaster in 2007. And I started competing in 2011. So all these contestants here who have just started their journey, maybe lost in contest and think that this is not for me, I have been competing for the last 13 years, non-stop. Right? So
I'm just letting everybody absorb that before I say anything.
Yeah, and I have lost, I think, continuously for 8 years. And it was in 2019, I won my first district contest after losing for 8 long years. So now imagine, now Qatar is a district. So it's easy for me. I just have to take my stuff and go to the venue, which would be very nearby, give my speech, winning, losing, and I can come back home. But back in those days, we were a district comprising of UAE, Jordan, Oman, and all those countries, and we had to travel. Now imagine leaving my family behind, traveling to another country, competing. And those days we used to have semi-finals and finals, clearing the semi-finals, going to the finals, losing, and then coming back, and then facing everybody here who would come and tell you, oh, Nisha, now you should stop. It is not for you. Don't compete. How many times will you lose? It is not easy. But I just, because I always thought that one day I can make it. I don't know when, but one day surely I will make it. I kept on trying. And yes, so anyone here who has ever competed and lost and thought that this is not for me, just go ahead, keep on trying. One day you will hit the target.
Nisha, why was it so important for you to win this contest? Why did you want to become a world champion? Because a lot of people ask this question, oh, I'm not serious about contests. Oh, you take contests too seriously. And I try to explain to them that it is not about contest. It is about the process. It is about the journey. So I have a question for you. Why was this contest so important for you, or why it is?
Just like you said, it's a process. And I enjoyed competing. I really enjoyed competing. That is one reason. I was always passionate. The second reason is something related to my ego also. Okay, so back in school days, I always used to take part in speech contests and poem recitation debates, and I always used to win. So when I came here in Qatar and started taking part in contest, and back in 2011, when I lost in the area contest, my ego was hurt. I was like, how is it possible? And then I started learning. I said, okay, what am I doing wrong that I lost to this one particular speaker? How is it possible? Then I started learning, and next year I won the division contest. So every time I lost, the one question I asked myself, what did I do wrong that I lost? Or what is this person, what did he or she do differently that they won? And I learned. So when I look at all these champions, and when I see that, they have won in their very first attempt, I feel pity, because now they do not have the opportunity to learn. Their growing it's stopped. But for me, again, I came second. Now I will look into that. Okay, what should I do to be the number one? I will learn and compete again. So I love this process. I love this process of losing and learning, because failure is beautiful. Let me tell you, losing is beautiful because it gives you another opportunity to learn and grow and just go one step ahead. Just one step. You don't have to take 10 steps ahead. You don't have to jump. Just one step ahead. Learn and then move one more step. That's it. So that is one thing. And again, as I said, that it was always there. I always looked at, Mohammed Khatani, Ramona Smith, and I always, if they can, why can't I? What is so special? Everybody can, right? And people used to tell me that, oh, Nisha, your accent is not good, your English is not good, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, let me work on it. Why can't I do it if they can do it? So, yes.
So this is something that you just said, Nisha. We come, like most of the audience here are from the eastern part of the world today. And a lot of them have this complex. They nurture this complex that my accent is not right.
Yeah.
My pronunciations are not right. And I know for a fact that there are a few ladies in the room here who just got that confidence from this simple statement from yours. So thank you so much for giving that morale booster to our members. Nisha, you mentioned something about people telling you, oh, it's not for you. Oh, just let it go. Why don't you pursue something else? How did you feel during those times, and what exactly kept you going? Because a lot of people do not possess the skill to really combat that kind of a feeling. Because personally, when I was told before my division contest that, you know what, you just won by fluke, and this was 2 years ago in the year 2021. I was told that you won by fluke. So I won club by fluke, I won area by fluke. And they said, so division though you will lose. I felt so demoralized. I backed out. I was first in club, I was first in area, and I withdrew from the division contest. I'm ashamed of it. But I want to know from you, what should I have done? What should have my thought process have been when somebody is demoralizing, discouraging?
Okay, so every time I won in my division, everybody would say the same. Oh, that was Qatar. People know you, so it was easy for you. And when I would go to the other district, I would lose, and they said, "See, we told you, right? It was Qatar, and that's why you were winning." Again in 2019, when Qatar became a district, I won again. So they said, "Oh, Nisha, that was your district. You had to win." But luckily that year in the regional contest, I came second, and all these people from my other, they came third, and they were nowhere there. And I said, okay, thank you. Thank God, at least I could make it. And then when I was there in the semi-final, so this was my third year as a semi-finalist. So I said, wow, now what would you say? Because in the regionals, we don't even know who the judges are. In our district, at least we know, okay, they might be our friends and our club members and all those stuff. But in the regionals, we don't even know who the judges are, because our videos are sent for the regional quarterfinals. We are not aware. Even in the semi-finals or the finals, we don't know what is happening. So now what will you say? How long can a person influence the judges and keep on winning? It's not possible, right? So people will say a lot of things, let me tell you, and it has happened with me. The first time when I gave my icebreaker, the evaluator said, Nisha, this is not how an icebreaker is given. You cannot do good in speaking. That was my very first evaluation. Imagine if I had stopped there, I wouldn't be sitting here for the interview today.
Okay, so people are going to say, let them
People
say.
are going to say a lot of things. You win, they will say 10 things. You lose, they will say 10 things. It's only when you keep on going and prove yourself, then only they will keep quiet. And then what would they do? They would stop talking to you. It has happened with me, and I'm telling you, it will happen with you. They would stop talking to you. And it's good. It's good. It's very good for the peace, for your, peace of mind. And I always tell people that others couldn't see what I was saying for myself. I saw myself as a world champion. They couldn't.
How do you come to terms with this particular situation? Like you said, there are certain people who stop talking to you. Now they have known you from the time when you were not a champion, and now that you have become champion, what changed? Have they started speaking to you again, or do they still keep distance? Or they started...
No. There are people. All of a sudden, they would come back. Congratulations, Nisha. We knew you can make it. You could make it. I said, yes, thank you so much. That's all I can do. I can smile and say, thank you so much.
I can see Pinky here. Her expression is enough to tell exactly.
Yeah.
Because
And
she
the
also went through something.
Yeah, the evaluator who had given me that evaluation during my icebreaker, and after some time he had actually left the club. He was here in Qatar only. In 2019, when I won my district contest for the first time, he came running to me and said, Nisha, wow, great speech, and you are a great speaker. Now, he had forgotten that he had given me that evaluation. I said, sir, remember, you had evaluated my icebreaker speech. Oh, really? I'm sure you did a great job back then also. I said, yes, sir, I did.
Everybody in the room, whoever has received that ugly feedback, don't worry about it. Now, Nisha, since you mentioned about icebreaker, we have in this room distinguished Toastmaster Usha Udayshankar, former Chief Judge for District 125. We were on a panel together, and she was asked one question by somebody that what do I do about my delivery? My evaluator gave me feedback that I need to improve my delivery and conclusion. She asked, which speech was it? He said, icebreaker. She said, I don't want to talk to you. Give me the number of your evaluator. Your evaluator had no business giving you this kind of an evaluation in the first place.
True. And I was a new member. I didn't know anything about it. I thought, okay, this is how people evaluate, and this is how we should evaluate. But it was later on when I continued my journey in Toastmasters, I realized that icebreaker speeches are just to give your introduction to the club. Okay, so people should actually encourage and be happy that you got up from your seat, you went there and you presented something.
Do you remember your icebreaker speech?
Yes, I remember. And it was all about, the title was, I do not believe in defeat.
Oh, can you give us a little insight on a couple of statements? Let's say,
Yeah,
Nisha Shivram, icebreaker, Nisha Shivram.
So I shared about my childhood, that I was born on 21st of April, 1980. And then I grew up in a small town called Malanchkhan in Madhya Pradesh. When I was 8 years old, my father passed away, and my mother raised both of us, my brother and me. And it was more about my mom, who taught me that, you should never, ever accept defeat in a literal sense. That means you need to keep on trying. You should never give up, because that woman, she was educated, but she came from Kerala. So she did not know the language. I grew up in Madhya Pradesh, and it was pure Hindi. She didn't know the language. She was not a working woman. But then she waited for 3 long years. She upgraded her skills. She learned the language. She even learned how to ride a scooty. Okay. And she kept on trying to get a job. And finally, after fighting for 3 long years, she got a job in my father's company. So I learned this from her, that struggles will be there, but you should never accept defeat and you should keep on trying. So that was the speech, and it was a good speech. So I did not understand why I was evaluated like this. So it was a shock for me. And but I'm happy at least that today I can, look at the person and say that, yeah, I made it.
To all the audience in the room, if you have any questions for Nisha, please send them to our tech master, Asantya Vishwamohan, and he will ensure that I get all of your questions and we get all of these questions to Nisha. Nisha, this is one question which has come to us. Our current district chief judge of District 125, distinguished Toastmaster Jyoti Bhatt, and she says, I feel that we can definitely improve upon our delivery style, but beyond a point, do you think you can improve on your content the way it is required at the world level? I mean, won't that make the speech look artificial? This, I think, is one of the things a lot of people say, do we have to fit the entire speech into that formula, or can we go beyond it?
No. And let me be very honest with you. There have been a lot of debates and arguments on this. But let me tell you, from my own experiences, delivery matters more than content when it comes to world championships. You may not like it. In the judges' ballot, we have given more points to the content, but people always look at the delivery.
Okay.
That is one thing. Yeah, I would just like to add, when we say content, it is all about how you have structured that speech. And we all know the structure. We know that there should be an interesting introduction, your body of the speech, and the conclusion. Remember, the introduction of the speech, the objective of the introduction is just to get the attention of your audience within few seconds. If you can't get the attention of your audience in those few seconds, you will lose them. So make sure that you have structured your speech properly, and the transitions, when you move from the introduction to the body, it's very, very clear and smooth. People should not get confused. Where did you start from and where you are going to? Okay, that is one thing. There is second part in the content, which most of the people just ignore, is the speech effectiveness. How effective is my speech? And to find it out, you have to answer one question, and all the questions are there at the back of judges' ballot if you have ever noticed. One question: that was my speech interesting enough to hold my audience attention from the beginning till the end? Which means you need to have an interesting speech, an interesting story in that. You can add drama, humor, emotions, whatever you want, but you need to make sure that people are actually listening to it. And when I say people, don't feel bad. In a contest, your audience is your judges, nobody else.
Okay. Now, since we are talking about delivery part, Nisha, has it been that you have evolved as a speaker, or were you always good with your delivery in terms of the vocal variety, or even purposeful hand gestures, like you spoke about the card and swipe? So this could not have come right from the beginning. Have you evolved, or how was your journey in terms of delivery?
And let me be honest, for the district contest, the swipe was not there. Only after winning the regional quarter finals, I sat with my coach and I asked him that how can I make this speech memorable? Because the conclusion of this particular speech was very philosophical. Okay, so I asked my coach, I don't want to give philosophy there at the world stage. I want them to remember my speech. Even with one single word, it's okay. And that is how we came up with this thing, swipe. So yes, we have to modify our speeches at every level. Okay, the kind of feedback you receive, and you have to work on that. Now, I have evolved as a speaker. If you go back and somebody had uploaded my first division speech, and you would look at it and you would break your screen. Okay, I won. That is a different thing. But when I look at it, I was like, Nisha, what were you doing? What was that? So a lot of drama and, giving a different voice to the character. Now people think when you give voice to the character, it is voice modulation. Ladies and gentlemen, it has got nothing to do with voice modulation. That is mimicry. Voice modulation is how you control your voice when you speak. So how you control the pitch, your pace and pauses, right? So see, it took me 13 years to learn all these things. It didn't just happen overnight. So yes, I have evolved as a speaker. I was a fast speaker back then. So every speeches would be somewhere around 800 to 900 words those days. And since I used to speak fast, it was okay for me. But it was not okay for the audience because they will never understand what I said. Now I have come down to 450, 500, maximum 550. So yes, I have evolved.
Okay. You spoke about sitting down with your coach. This is one question from Toastmaster Bharati. He asks, how much role did your mentor play in your overall journey? And how did you find your mentor?
Okay, my mentor, I just have one mentor, and he has been there for the last 13 years. He is the one who has been helping me with, speech structuring and every time we work on it. See, you will not believe the speech that I gave for the World Championship. It was I think 37th or 38th version of the speech. So now you can imagine how many times we have rewritten it, right? So, and I always tell this to everybody who's planning to take part in the contest, that please do not send your speeches just 2 days before the contest to your mentors. They are not magicians. So now it's October, contest will start from November or probably by December. So your speech should be ready by now. So once my World Championship got over, I started writing my speech. Because then I have to sit with my mentor and, rewrite it. Then I will present it somewhere in the club and then get the feedback from the people and then again rewrite it or take something out or add something. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. So some people think, oh, I'm a very good writer. I can write a speech overnight and I can deliver. It will just by a matter of luck that you would win. Otherwise, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it.
So 2 days before the time that you have to deliver the speech. Now, I've been telling my mentees all the time, nobody listens, but I hope they listen to you now. Nisha, how many times did you practice your speech before delivering it on the world stage?
Okay, this time I was enjoying Bahamas. But yes, since it was a story that was very close to my heart, I knew it. So I didn't have to. But before that, I used to practice it a lot. And I always believe, and I'm sharing this with you, you need to practice your speech the way you are going to deliver it on the final stage, be it your club contest or area or whatever. If you think that you're very smart and you would just improvise and, bring in some gestures or do something, it is not going to work. So practice as many times as possible the way you are going to present it on the final stage. So if you are planning to lift your hand, practice it the way you are planning to do it. Don't try to do it on the stage. It is not going to happen. You will ultimately forget something. So I have practiced. I have never counted. This time I didn't. Earlier I used to practice a lot daily.
So you won't give us a number, a golden number.
I can't because I have never counted.
In short, when Nisha is saying that she did not count it, it effectively means she practiced it so many times that she could not keep a count of it. Please, everybody, take a note. Please do keep practicing your speeches. Nisha, when we speak about all the delivery in terms of vocal variety, body language, here is the question from Toastmaster Tejal. She wants to know if you took any more lessons from outside Toastmasters, or did you get everything by just attending meetings after meetings, one step at a time? Or did you get coaching from outside?
No, I didn't take any particular training for voice outside Toastmasters. We had a Toastmaster in Qatar If I think many of you might be knowing him, his name is Toastmaster Koka Prasad. So Koka was a master of vocal variety and expressions and everything. So he taught me. And then I used to watch all these YouTube videos, I would say, and, learned about how to do the pitch and all these things. And then I was part of radio once. So from there, I learned it from all the radio jockeys. So how to play with your voice. I have great, voice artists as my friends. So they have taught me a bit about voice modulation and everything. So that's how. Otherwise, if you feel that you need to have a coaching or you need to get yourself trained on voice, you can definitely go ahead and do it. But how much would that help in speaking? Because you have only 5 to 7 minutes. So you cannot do everything in that. So you have to maintain and see that what would, look good and sound good when you would say that speech. Because sometimes there are contestants who actually change their voice. So when we hear them, we are like, oh, this is not how he normally speaks. See, that also affects, because then the judges are listening to somebody else. They, that is the feeling they get. So do not try to do that. Do not try to put fake accent to look cool, because it may just backfire. Yeah.
On that note, Nisha, there is one more thing that has been observed in the world champion speeches, especially among the winning speeches for the past 3-4 years. Humor has played a vital role. Here is a question from one of the attendees here, from Jinal Maru, and she wants to know, how do we add humor to our speeches if we are not naturally humorous?
Okay. First of all, in contest, it is not mandatory to have humor, but it is always good if you have humor in your speeches, because it helps you in establishing a bond with your audience. The more they laugh, you feel energetic, okay? And you can have a connection with them. I'm not a humorous speaker. Humor is not my cup of tea, but now, recently, we have started doing it. You cannot add humor deliberately. You can only discover humor in the story. So if you have a situation and you are trying to add humor, it will not happen. Now you have to look into it and think, how can I find humor in it? Okay, so when Feli came with a lot of food on the tray, for me, it was also a funny situation, because now I'm worried that she will take my card and swipe. Now you have to discover humor in it and write it in a way that people would laugh. Okay, that is why it is always suggested that you add dialogues in your speeches, because you can make your dialogues funny. So when you have a funny dialogue, it would create humor. So when I said, oh my God, she is there with a tray full of food. Oh my God. So instead of saying, oh my God, I just said, oh my God. Right? So I added a, mono dialogue there, and it created humor. So try to discover humor in the situation and try to add some funny dialogues instead of deliberately adding something which people, sometimes people will not get it. People will not laugh, and that would make you even more nervous. So don't do that. Try to discover humor in that situation. And humor is very, very tough, okay? So people, if they don't even laugh, don't get nervous. Just go ahead with the next sentence that comes to your mind.
So Nisha, one thing that I personally feel is different about you compared to all the other sessions we usually attend. Usually the questions coming for the speaker are about how to do the speech, like a mini workshop. One reason why nobody wanted to have a workshop with you was that everybody wanted to learn more about mindset, more about not giving up, more about just getting in that right frame of mind. Here is one question from Pinky Baharus, Distinguished Toastmaster Pinky. And we have some tips related to how to have that right mindset, being calm right before stepping on any big stage and right before any contest.
Pinky ji, I did not expect that question from you, because you are somebody with a very, very strong mind, I believe. Okay. Now, when it comes to contest, just like in your examination, if you are prepared, you need not be nervous. When you know all the answers, you know that you can write it well, right? So it's just like the same way in the contest. When you know everything, when you know you have practiced it so many times, you should not be nervous. Now, where does this nervousness come from? When we look at other contestants, right? And we think, oh my God, this guy is very humorous. She has great body language. You can't do anything about it. Because what is theirs is theirs. What are their strengths will always be their strengths. We can never do anything about it. We can only work on our strengths and believe in ourselves that, we can do it. That is the only thing. That is number one. So believe in your story. If you have a great story and message to share with, and you have practiced well and, prepared well, you can do it. Do not ever look at other contestants. Number one. Second thing is, do not overestimate yourself. That since I'm a champion, I will win again and again. That brings more stress. And never underestimate other contestants because you don't know, right? So never underestimate other contestants. What does that mean? That means you need to put the same hard work that they have put, even more than them. So my fellow contestants, they come and tell me that, when I look at them and when I know that they are, they have some more strengths than me, I make sure that I work harder than them. So hard work beats talent. Always remember that. And that is how you can calm yourself. You have a unique story to share. Just believe in yourself and believe in your story. Other than that, you cannot control anything. So there is no point in stressing over what my contestant is wearing. What is she going to speak? Will I be able to do it better than her? No. And when you go on the stage, go with the mindset of a winner. Because if somebody else is winning in your mind, let me tell you, they will win.
I have experienced that, so I'll second that because I have done that with myself. Because anytime I see somebody else perform, it doesn't matter whether they are better than me or not. I just kind of feel that I'm losing my confidence all over. Nisha, on that note, here is another question. Again, a little bit about feelings, a little bit about mindset. Distinguished Toastmaster Saurabh Tiwari is asking, you prepared so well, and we all can see that from your answers. I'm personally touched by your stories. I want to know, how was the feeling coming second and not being able to be the winner? Now, on that note, here is one more thing I would like to tell everybody. One of my speech coaches, Toastmaster Linda Marie Miller, who was second place winner in 2020-2021, she also wrote on the international group that on her ballot sheet, Nisha had won. And she just declared it in front of everyone. So, Nisha, I think this is important.
This would be very selfish of me because, like everybody else, I expected that I would win. And my name was announced as the second place. So the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, I have to come back again. One more time. And I was feeling pity on my fellow contestants. So I sent a message in my group that, guys, sorry, I will be competing next year too. Right? So that was the thought that came to my mind. Otherwise, even a second place for me was a huge, incredible achievement because all these years I was working for that. And as I said in my interview there also with Mark Brown, that I'm just one step behind my target, one step. And very soon you will see me there. So it's fine. That's okay.
Nisha, 13 years in
Yes.
Toastmasters, contesting for about 8 years now. How many speeches have you done so far? How many, like ballpark figure, how many speeches or how many versions of a speech? Ballpark figure.
I don't know, no idea. Because every time I give a speech and people would come and say that, how do you do that? Because every time it's a new speech. Other contestants would remodify and do, they take their old speeches and do that. But for me, every time it's a new speech. So I don't know, no idea. I can't say.
We are not going to get any number from Nisha
No,
whatsoever.
numbers because I don't know, because my project speeches are different. My contest speeches are different. I have never repeated my project speeches as contest speeches. It's always new speeches. So seriously, I don't know.
All right, and we will take that from you that there is no number, but a lot of them, a lot of speeches to
yes.
arrive at this particular point. Nisha, one more thing that I wanted to ask you was, for 8 long years, when you have been participating in the contests, did you come across this kind of response from people wherein people are like, oh, now you have reached here, it is enough?
Yes.
Like there are different set of people who don't believe in you, or who don't who are like outrightly discouraging you, but these are the people who are your well-wishers, but they kind of say, oh, you have reached till here, enough. How did that feel?
Last year when I came back from Nashville, so one of our members from our Toastmasters, he had called me up and said, so what is your plan for next year? I said, what plan? I would be competing in a contest. So he said, why? You have reached, no, I was one of the finalists in Nashville. So he said, you have reached that stage, no, what more? It's over. I said, no, it's not over. It has just begun. तो अभी खेल अभी शुरू हुआ है, ऐसे कैसे छोड़ दे, right? So, and even now when I came back and there was felicitation, so one of the guys asked me, so now you have become the second place winner, so do you want to compete again? I said, sir, this was not my target ever. Second place was never my target. If I had targeted to be one of the top 3 winners, I would be done, like, I would have taken rest. But this was never my target. So unless and until I hit my target, I will not stop, whether you like it or not.
Nisha, on that note, there is one more question that usually comes up when we talk about fear again. Once we reach a particular point, let's say somebody becomes a division champion, district champion, or maybe reach the semifinals, the following year when they go for the contest, there is this fear, what if I don't make it this time? What if I don't even clear area this time? What will people think if I lose this time? A lot of questions come. What do we do then? I'm not a district champion, so it does not apply to me.
See, when I first won the district contest, the same fear, I had the same fear, next year, what if? And that makes you work even harder. You have to make sure that because otherwise people would start saying that, all those previous wins were just by fluke you won, or it was just by luck. Then you have to work even harder. And then leave it up to, okay, if your luck is really, really bad, then we can't do anything. But from your own side, you have to work double and triple more than what you did. And you have to keep this goal in your mind that this year, I would be doing better than what I did last year. You have to go ahead with that determination. My kids are there. So that fear would always be there, but you have to make sure that, you do not give chance to anybody to say something. Now, I was discussing with other contestants, and I said that anything can happen tomorrow, right? I may go overtime. It can happen, yes. Right? If my luck is bad, I may go overtime. But then as a seasoned and experienced Toastmaster, I have to look into everything and see that, I at least perform better than what I did. Then leave it up to your destiny, whatever it is. You can't do anything. But make sure that at least your efforts are, better and more than what you had done previous year.
What has changed in your life after you became a podium finisher?
Nothing. Because if you see, I have been doing these trainings and giving educational modules and everything. I've been doing it for many, many years. I've been to many of your, Mumbai Toastmasters Club and other Toastmasters Club in India and had presented modules. So nothing changed that way. But yes, now I can very confidently say that, those people who heard me before and didn't take me seriously, thinking that what tips is she giving, now they will take me seriously because now I won. Right? So that is the difference.
How did your kids respond when you came back with the trophy?
Okay, my kids are actually part of my contest preparation. They actually help me in contest preparation. So my daughter will always be the contest chair, and my son will always be the timer. Okay, so now I've taught them that way so that they sit. When I came back with the trophy, my daughter came to me and said, "See, I told you, you didn't practice it well. That's why you got second place." So I said, yeah, I should have listened to you.
It's not just the mother. Even daughter is not willing to accept anything less than the championship.
Yeah.
So Nisha is coming next year, and somebody just asked a question. Now that you are second place winner, will you leave Toastmasters or will you continue your journey? Please give that answer.
I have to, because now I have huge responsibility to help others. So now my journey is different. I have to now start mentoring and teaching, especially, and I do it with Gavaliers. Because it's easy, they don't have egos, so they take feedback. Otherwise, all these grown-ups, if you start giving them feedback, nobody would like it. They won't take it seriously. Okay, so now it's my responsibility to give it back. Whatever I have learned from Toastmasters, I should give it back. Whoever wants to, competing in the contest or whatever it is, I must give it back to them. So no, I will be continuing. Yes.
All right, Nisha, we have final 3 minutes with you because I know after that you have to leave. So in the final 3 minutes, I have a set of questions for you, and I need you to answer without thinking. It's rapid fire. Okay? No thinking. You just have to give the answer. Okay? What is your favorite season?
Summer?
Are you an animal person?
No.
Which animal do you hate the most?
Cats.
Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite food?
Biryani.
One word that irritates the hell out of you.
Thank you.
What is your favorite pastime?
Sleeping.
Okay, sleeping. Which is your favorite song?
तू है वही दिल में जिसे अपना कहा. Yes.
Favorite movie?
Sadma.
Favorite actor?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Favorite actress?
Smita Patel.
All right. Are you a Harry Potter buff?
No.
Oh, why not? It's
No.
it's a good book. What is the title of your next speech?
No way.
I just thought I'd take a chance. I'd take a chance. One thing you would like to tell everybody here, since I know half the people here personally and I know what they are going through, this is one question which I'm going to ask. We have mothers in this room who are coming back in their lives. We have those people in the room who are finding their voice and they still feel that maybe I don't have something interesting enough to tell the audience. And final thing, we also have those people in this room who feel that nobody is supporting them as they should be supported. What would you tell them?
When I had started competing, I was 31. Now I am 43. And in this long journey, I became a mother of two. I have even traveled to different countries when I was pregnant. And I still remember on the DTAC stage, I stood there when I was 7 months pregnant. And everybody would identify me as, oh, that pregnant contestant. Why? Because, I was pursuing a dream very close to my heart. So what matters is What is your goal? What do you want to do in life? And let me tell you very honestly, one day your kids will grow up, they will go their own ways. Okay, your husband would be busy doing something else, and you would be sitting in a corner thinking that I did not pursue my goals when I had time and help and probably even money. And then you would start complaining to your husband that, because of you or because of my kids, I didn't do that. And they would ask you, did we stop you? Why didn't you do that? Okay, so whatever dream or goal you have, it's not just about contests, it's about, let's say that you want to start a business, you want to write a book, go ahead, start doing it right now. Now you have the health, now you have the money, now you have, everything around you, social media, everything. Just start doing it now. Now, support. You will never ever get support from the people around you. My own experience. People would be there to make fun of you. They would be there to criticize you. Your own people, probably your husband, your spouse, your in-laws, everybody. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Run alone. And when you would start moving towards your dream, you would see that all of a sudden, some strangers, people whom you do not know, they have come and they have started helping you. It happens. It has happened with me, and that is why I'm telling you. So do not worry whether you are a mother, you are single, or you have a family. Just follow your dreams, because at the end of the life, you would be regretting that you did not do that. It's not very late. You can start doing it, and don't worry about the support. The moment you start walking on your path, you will see people joining you, and they will guide you and help you achieve your dream.
That is really helpful, Nisha. And on a very lighter note, since you did speeches when you were pregnant, when the child was born, the doctor say a champion is born instead of saying a son or a daughter? Do you
be an author? Other than that, not yet.
All right, since you don't like the word thank you, I'm going to just say we are extremely grateful to you for joining us. And I would like to hand over the stage to our Master of Ceremonies, Distinguished Toastmasters Shravanti Velampati.
Now is the time, without uttering those two words, for all of us, if possible at all, to unmute and put our physical hands together to give Nisha and Gayatri a big round of applause. I don't know if you can unmute, but I'm going to do it. Nisha, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know recaps are always important, and I, for one, always take notes. I have a big book in front of me. I'd like to briefly touch upon some highlights that I heard you share with us. Intention behind your story. You talked to us about how to pick our topics, how to be intentional about our stories, and when we are together, we have to help each other. That's really how we come through as a community, and I know you've got help from everyone else. Personal stories are everyday events. You don't have to scale Mount Everest or change the world. Pick up from your everyday. They are what are impactful. Keep trying. One day it will happen, and you close that with that same thought. If you choose to walk your path, people will come and help you. And I love that. I also said ego was hurt, and that's really when we pick ourselves up and become whole, and we choose to move on. Thank you for sharing that inspiration. Losing is a beautiful opportunity to learn. How powerful are those words? Losing is a beautiful opportunity to learn. And I just discovered you've been a Toastmaster 6 years longer than I have been. Oh my God, friend, you got started really, really early. I'm 10 years older than you are. All right. See yourself as a world champion. That visualization is the most powerful thing. And thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for reiterating it for us today. You talked about continuous evolution. You are on a continuum. You're a little dot, almost there, but not quite. And it reminded me, the story of your two daughters reminded me of how I shared a culture survey score. And I said, I got a 4.96 overall, 2 5s and 2 4.9s. And my daughter says, so Amma, what happened to the 0.04? See how you raised us? So it brought a story back home. And I said, my goodness, we raise ambitious kids and they will follow our dreams. We have to believe that. So thank you for sharing that and how you traveled being pregnant, facing challenges, not having support from your immediate family, but how helping them realize that you have a dream to follow and that you need their support. So thank you for that. Mentoring, you touched briefly on mentoring and how you have consistently sought out mentorship, whether it is by chance, whether it is by intention, or whether it is by just visiting, learning, introspecting, reflecting. Thank you for again, I'm saying thank you so many times. I'm grateful. There you go. Let me rephrase. I'm grateful for you sharing that inspiration. And last but not least, you said, discover and play with humor. I love that. I'm not a very funny person myself, very naturally, but I do try to inject. Last night, I was saying, okay, two of us sit, fit in that chair. Surely it's not because of me, it's because of Sangeeta. And the crowd just burst out in laughter last night because Sangeeta is a sliver of a thing. And obviously I wasn't helping with the chair. And we can only work on our strengths. I am a strengths finder and a big believer in strengths finder myself. And so apt, so apropos for this occasion. We want to, again, extend our deepest gratitude. A world champion being on stage with us, sharing her secrets and being free and so generous, as someone rightly said in the chat, coming through for us, coming through for herself, coming through for the voice that's between and within us. Nisha, wonderful job. I love that rose pink on you. Maybe you should reconsider changing your favorite color to the rose pink, then red. Love it on you. I missed seeing you at Bahamas this year, but I did have the good fortune of seeing you last year in action, which was fantastic. And I hope to see you next year. From all of us here at Connected Across Miles, a big, big hurrah and a huge thank you to you. Nisha, thank you. And at this time, it is my privilege to turn it back over. Do we have anything else from the audience? Did I miss anything? Okay. I sought out a little introduction for each of our role players. So before I turn it over to our presiding officer, I would like to recognize, and if I missed anyone, I'm so sorry. Let me see. All right, there you go. Asankhya was our last one. Let me get Asankhya's, and then give me one moment to aptly recognize all our role players for today. And this has been an amazing event. And if you are taking a moment to let it all sink in, please do so. Please do so and give our role players, Nisha and Gayatri, and everyone included, a big round of applause. And I'm almost working here, tech difficulties notwithstanding. There you go. Our tech master. So let me start, and in no particular order. But the first person who opened today's meeting is Toastmaster Ishika Mahajan. Ishika lives in Gurgaon, India, has been a Toastmaster for 2 years. She is associated with the Connected Across Miles and currently serves as the club secretary. She has completed, and I don't have what she's completing, but she is actively pursuing her paths and taking an active role at every meeting. I see Ishika as this person who opens every meeting and who is on point for all of us. Her favorite part about Toastmasters is that the adrenaline rush she gets before every meeting, listening to people from diverse backgrounds, learning, unlearning, and relearning things, and growing with a bunch of amazing people. She enjoys painting, reading novels, writing, watching movies, and helping others. Let's give a big round of applause to our Sergeant at Arms today, Ishika Mahajan. Our presiding officer was Vandita Shukla. She lives in Ghaziabad, has been a Toastmaster for 5 years. She has been associated with Camp TC as VP PR, belongs to clubs, and one of them is Camp TC, has completed the dynamic leadership pathway. Her favorite part about Toastmasters is networking. She enjoys singing and cracking jokes. Please put your hands together for Vandita Shukla. I introduced Gayatri at the very beginning. Gayatri is the one who reached out and connected me to a bunch of other friends here, as well as to Connected Across Miles Toastmasters, of which I am a proud charter member. So welcome, Gayatri, once again, and thank you for that amazing moderation of our discussion with Nisha. Next is our PQD for District 18. So distinguished, is it distinguished? I don't know. So I will say Toastmaster Gaurav Agarwal, our special guest who inspired us with his opening remarks at the very beginning. Gaurav lives in Kolkata, has been a Toastmaster for 8 years, associated with Camp TC as a well-wisher and a supporter. Gaurav belongs to 2 clubs, City of Joy Toastmasters Club and Regalia Toastmasters Club. He has completed 1 path, which is presentation mastery, and his favorite part about Toastmasters is the positive and supportive environment to learn and grow. Please thank Gaurav Agarwal. And I hope you are thanking them, right? I can't hear it, but I hope you are. Our timer today was Yaska Bayari. Yaska is an ambivert, and he is a program manager at Imbibe, an edtech venture of Reliance Jio. He has been part of 3 clubs, leadership development program manager in District 92, and he is on his 4th pathway, and he is a distinguished Toastmaster, DTM Yaska. He is a PR enthusiast and loves traveling and cooking. Thank you, Yaska. And what role does Gautami have today?
Greeter.
Gautami is our greeter. Gautami is predominantly, in her own words, a writer and works as a brand and content marketing manager at a marketing agency out of Mumbai. She has spent her childhood and college years in Nashik, after which she moved to Mumbai for better career prospects and later on for her marriage. In 2021, she came back to her parents' house and was diagnosed with depression and dysphoria. Once she started recovering, she started to speak about domestic violence and its impact on mental health and society at large. She's a huge Harry Potter, no wonder I was inclined. She is her sister. She is a huge Harry Potter and Naruto fan and enjoys watching romantic comedies in her free time. She finds immense joy in eating different cuisines and traveling. To our greeter, Gautami Deshmukh, thank you. All right, Tamanna Booth was our video master. So if you saw the panels coming on and being highlighted, Tamanna was our video master. Tamanna lives in Kolkata, has been a Toastmaster for 3 years, and has been associated with Camp TC as a guest. Belongs to IMI Kolkata Clubs, has completed MBA in Marketing and HR. And her favorite part about Toastmasters is getting to learn networking and the warmth of all of the members in our Toastmasters family. Enjoys listening to different people's speeches as they always have something good to offer. Tamanna Booth. And our tech master, thank you, Asankhya. Our tech master today is Asankhya Mohan. He is working with Emeritus on the corporate front and presently serves as an Associate Club Growth Director for District 124 at Toastmasters International. He has taken up various club and district leadership roles in the last 1 year, and he became a President's Distinguished Division Director in the inaugural year of District 124. What an honor to have you here. Thank you, our tech master, Asankhya. It has been my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today for this fantastic tete-a-tete with Nisha Shivram. And at this time, I will turn it back to our presiding officer, Distinguished Toastmaster, Vandita Shukla.
My goodness. Can we have a huge round of applause for Shravanti? I can't hear the claps. All are clapping. I can't hear it. How can you clap with yourself being muted? I request everyone to please unmute yourself and give a huge round of applause for Shravanti, for our moderator, Gayatri, for Nisha, for every other role player who has been actively contributing to this meeting. Now, that was a very smooth discussion. I have never seen such a discussion being so smooth, so crisp, and so educational. Let me tell you, I was listening on different levels while I was at my home, while I was traveling, and even when I'm sitting at the store, I was continuously listening to each and everything that was spoken, either a question put up by Gayatri or an answer spoken by Nisha. If one would have carefully listened to each and every answer that Nisha spoke, she covered each and every aspect, or even the silliest of the questions that would come in our minds related to Toastmasters or speech competitions. She even covered whether we need any extra coachings, whether we need immense support from a mentor. How can a person survive if he does not have a mentor? And how a person need to connect with the mentor event. She even talked about that delivery possesses more importance than the content. Well, this could not have come to light if not for Nisha. So I'm really, really thankful to Nisha for gracing CAMTC, and once again thankful to Gayatri for organizing this session. I would also like to extend my warm regards to all the attendees who attended the session. It gives me immense delight to tell you that CAMTC is not stopping at just this session. There are further sessions for the panel discussions, for the keynotes, for the workshops lined up for you. And if you are interested to be part of this family tree, I welcome you with both my arms extended and with warm regards in my heart. Because we at Connected Across Miles Toastmasters Club love to have members who want to learn, who want to cherish, and who want to spread the knowledge that they have. So if you are interested, let me know. You can connect with Gautami. She's the Vice President Membership. You can connect with Gayatri, who's so actively involved in Toastmasters and is the flag bearer of CAMTC wherever she goes. If you have any feedback for the meeting, I would love to hear from you. Is there anyone who would like to tell us any points of improvements, anything you like, or something that you want to mention about the session today? Anyone?
We would love to hear from distinguished Toastmaster Pinky Barrows.
Yeah, she was very active.
Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you, Vandita. So what I loved about this meeting was one thing I've realized that if you are comfortable, if you are enjoying what you're doing, the audience will enjoy with you. And there I could see Gayatri was enjoying herself, the role players were enjoying themselves, Nisha was enjoying herself, answering whatever was coming to the mind. They were speaking casually, not thinking, am I doing it right? What is happening? Nothing. So they were enjoying and I was enjoying with them. So that's what I want to say. Thank you. Thank you. Love the interaction.
Yeah, thank you, Pinky, for that message. To add to it, I would like to say Toastmasters is not a very stringent setup in which you need to behave in a certain manner or you need to speak in a certain manner. Please feel free to express yourself. Just note that nobody else's sentiment should hurt. So yeah, at CAMTC, we feel free to express ourselves, and it's an enjoyable session in which learning happens at the back of our mind. We don't even realize, but we learn enormous amount of things. So yeah, thank you, Pinky, for that. Any other person who would like to share the feedback?
We have Toastmaster Tasya over here from Empire Toastmasters Club.
Good evening, everyone. My impression for today's meeting is really amazing. I listened the entire time. The role takers are amazing as well, and I really love this meeting. I wish for the best for this club, and I really want to be here in the next session. So, yeah.
Oh, that's a victory. Thank you. Thank you so much. I also see Toastmaster Bharti. Toastmaster Bharti, would you like to add something?
First of all, I would like to thank Gayatri. I met her twice and I really enjoyed her company. And in between, I just keep on poking her, Gayatri, how can we do this? What we can do? And she's really a good motivator. And same kind of a vibes today I see or I noticed from each and every role player. wonderful presentation by Gayatri, no wonder. I forgot her name. She's from US. I'm sorry, I forgot writing her name.
Shravanti.
Shravanti. Yes, and one thing I've learned from Nisha Shravan's line is losing is beautiful opportunity to learn again. So that's what I learned, and I think with this club, I enjoyed, and everybody was given a fair chance to speak, and everything was going flawlessly. It was not been seen that it has been dramatically or written. It's everybody was talking nicely, and that is the best part of it, and I would love to join the meeting again. Thank you so much for inviting me, Gayatri.
You're most welcome, Bharti. It was such a nice experience to have you here. Gina had also raised the hands. I would love to hear it from Gina. Gina?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So it was a wonderful experience. I had checked out Nisha's speech, and as a person of Indian origin, I think she's done our entire nation proud at such a large and distinguished forum. And it was really nice the way Gayatri ma'am conducted the interview, because I think she's really perceptive, and she must have spent a lot of time putting down those questions, because I think a lot of these questions would have been questions in our mind as well. So wonderful moderation, and I must say extremely generous sharing of information by Nisha ma'am. And I think all in all, the entire experience, the entire event was so amazing. I just want to say thank you. I know Nisha doesn't like the word thank you, but it's really, really coming from the bottom of my heart. I loved it. I think there's a lot that we learn from speeches and from these experiences that just help us become better people in general. Of course, the speaking experience benefits, but life per se becomes so much richer. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for today. Thank you.
You're absolutely on point, Gina. Even when Nisha was talking about her icebreaker, and she talked about that woman that worked so much on herself, even learning the language, learning how to ride the scooty, and then getting the job at her father's organization. Well, that story really gave me a lot of motivation to start working from tomorrow. So, yeah. And for the benefit of the audience, I would like to tell you that a lot of, what should I say, research was done. And that was done by Gayatri. So I had a first-hand experience. So I'm telling you, yes, Gayatri did a lot of research. So behind this flawless motivation that you saw today, Gayatri had put a lot of efforts. I would like to welcome Division Director Shobit. Shobit, would you like to add something? Shobit Singhal, I see you are there in the meeting.
Yeah, hi. I just stepped outside, was just listening, but yeah, I think I came in towards the end, and I think the last session where Nisha talked about how it is daunting to be a family person as well as trying to follow your dreams. I think that really struck a chord, and yeah, I was sort of overwhelmed by the. I wasn't able to listen to the whole of her journey, but even that gist or that final summary was good enough to help me visualize how difficult had it been for her and how she has been so persistent. And as always, kudos to Gayatri for reeling up such questions and putting it out there. I think these are the questions which she somehow is able to extract from everybody's mind, and each and every question would definitely relate to one or the other person in the gathering. So kudos to DTM Gayatri for that, and a wonderful, wonderful session. It's my bad luck that I couldn't be there for it throughout the session. I was trying to get on some other meeting, but yeah, kudos, and it's a well put off feat. Thank you so much for arranging this. Thank you very much.
Most welcome, Shobit. So we were hearing from Division F Director District 124. We are immensely delighted to have you over here, sir. And that's the inference that we have. Everybody got something to relate with, to something to inspire from. And that's a success, Gayatri. I would say it was a successful meeting. And with this, I would like to adjourn the meeting for today. See you all in the next meeting.